very much. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Declare this meeting in order. Deputy Mayor, would you do me the favor, please, of reading our land acknowledgements?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We respectfully acknowledge the city of Port Brook as the ancestral homeland of different populations of indigenous people. We also acknowledge with respect the rich histories and cultures of the Beothuk, Mi'kmaq, Innu, and Inuit of the province of Newfoundland and Labrador.
Thank you very much. Would someone like to move the agenda, please?
So moved, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Second on that?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Contraminded? Carried. We have some minutes from Committee of the Whole on October 21st. Would someone like to move the minutes, please?
So moved.
Thank you very much. Second?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Second, excellent. Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Contraminded? Carried. Are there any business rising from the minutes?
Mr. Mayor.
Yes, Councillor Penner.
Thank you. Item 24108, fall leaf pickup.
Yep.
I think it's the last item here on that list. Just noted that there's still a lot of bags of leaves outside of people's properties and so on. Speaking to the director and city manager earlier, just looking at is there a solution for those people who either missed the cutoff of November 15th to bring them over to the space we have there on Third Pond, because as I understand it, the contractor won't be picking them up and certainly want to get rid of them before the snow flies. So I mentioned it to them earlier, if we could potentially open up Third Pond again for a few days or whatever, but I wonder if that's a possibility.
Mr. Burden?
Yeah, that's, I think that's a great solution, is to talk to our sustainability manager and figure out a time that we can get that gate reopened and let people know that it's there. And like I said, we can always assist as well. You know, if someone has a lot of leaves on the curb and they can't get over to Third Pond, then if they call the complaints line, we'll try to get them to now this fall. Because the last thing we want is them leaves left on the curb when we get our first snowfall, because they end up everywhere. So we'll talk to the sustainability manager, get that moving, and like I said, and if people can't get out there at the Third Pond, then they give us a call, we'll try to get them.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, anything else there? Yes?
What can we do, or what can people do to have their leaves put in paper bags besides transfer them to plastic? Is that the only solution?
Mr. Burden, I mean, take that paper bag, put it in a plastic bag, you mean?
No, empty them into a plastic bag, or can they go to where it's being dumped and dump them?
I don't know, Mr. Burden, will you take paper bags?
Yeah, so if you bring the bags, you can bring the leaves over to Third Pond and whatever you like. I don't know if the dumpster is still there, but there was a dumpster there. So basically, if you dump out your leaves, if it's plastic or paper or whatever bag, you can put it in the dumpster that's there. The only, I guess, stipulation on the paper bag was the contractor wasn't picking up leaves in a paper bag, but once they get to Third Pond, it's fine.
Okay, good.
Yep.
Yeah, something else?
Yes, I have a quick question to ask on the patching, the update on the patching.
Yep. Go ahead. Oh, is that your question?
Update on the patching.
Mr. Burden, what's the update on the patching?
We are getting very close to having everything complete. There's, to the best of our knowledge, there's not many patches left. And also, to the best of our knowledge, we're not going to have asphalt available to us much longer. So they're hoping to get everything glued up in the next couple of days and shut the plant down. So.
Okay, yep.
Curling Street, update on Curling Street.
Mr. Burden?
Curling Street closure because of the retaining wall, I've been told, within 2 weeks, so 2 weeks at the latest. Hopefully before that, get
Okay.
that road open.
Okay,
Okay, thank you. Also,
yeah.
the ban on winter parking.
It's not on
Is the
I don't think
ban-
that's in the minutes, is it?
No, it's not in the minutes, Mr. Mayor, but I've been asked if we could, okay, I can drop it.
We can
Let's
ask
talk
it, but let's,
Stick to the minutes?
well, this is not a committee of the whole meeting, but I'm
But the
sure
minute-
Mr. Burden can, or maybe Mr. Flynn can give us, I guess, the rundown on the winter parking.
Yes, starting December 1st, that will come in effect, and that will prohibit parking on the street from 12 a.m. to 7 a.m., if I'm not mistaken, or 7:30, I have to check, but in that area of time, yeah.
Some people thought it was the 1st of November, that's why
That's
I.
tires.
That's for
Okay.
snow
So
tires.
that's
yeah.
just why I asked it.
Yep.
Thank you.
Perfect, okay, yes.
We're on a roll. What about the ATVs?
ATV, they're allowed to continue operation until November 30th. So I've been speaking with our communications officer, and he will be putting out some material in that regard at that time, so.
Okay,
Yep, thank you.
thank you very much. Okay, so we've had, one proclamation to mention, November 5th is declared Hope Air Day, which is Hope Air has been instrumental in bridging the gap between smaller communities and hospitals far from home, reducing the geographic and cost barriers that often prevent individuals from reaching medical care. And we have two upcoming ones that we'll mention now, because our next meeting is budget, of course, and we'll probably not, we'll miss them. They're happening tomorrow. We have Project Red Ribbon Day. Displaying the red ribbon is a personal commitment to driving sober, which is very important this time of year, of course, especially. Red Ribbon is also used to pay tribute to the thousands of Canadians who've lost their lives, who have been injured as a result of impaired driving. The Red Ribbon also enforces the message to drive sober throughout the holidays and throughout the year. And on Wednesday, we'll be marking Transgender Day of Remembrance. The Transgender Day of Remembrance helps bring public awareness to transphobic hate crimes, honors the memory of those hurt and killed by acts of transphobic violence each year. Okay, our first item here, Councillor Keeping, Western Regional Service Board appointment.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In accordance with the governance structure of the Western Regional Service Board, the City of Cornwall appoints 2 members of council to serve on the Western Regional Service Board. Councillor Gale is currently serving on the board. However, the other position is vacant, and the board has requested that we appoint a representative from council. Be it resolved to appoint Councillor Belle Brickland as the City of Cornwall Council representative on the Western Regional Service Board. I so move.
Thank you very much. Seconder on that?
Second motion, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Questions on this one?
Yes, question, Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Just a quick question with regard to function of the board. When there is a decision at the board level that has financial implications for the city of Corner Brook, does the 2 representatives that represent the city of Corner Brook vote at will at that board, or do they have to bring, or should we suggest that they bring financial implications back to the city of Corner Brook, back to this table? Because the people of Corner Brook elect us to be protectors of their dollars. And if the regional board is making a decision for which has or could have a potential impact financially on the city, then should the representatives that represent this council and the people of Corner Brook bring it back to this council for at least a discussion on the potential impact that would have at the city. So I don't know the full operation of the board, so I just asked that.
If it's a decision of the board, it is up to those members well, we would ideally hope they would represent the interests of the city of Corner Brook when on that board, but the board itself has to make decisions, and it's not feasible even to bring decisions back to council for them to get their marching orders and go back again. So in the case of, say, the only instance where there would be something on the regional service board that would affect the city of Corner Brook might be, say, waste management at this point. So the cost of garbage. So I guess the board has to decide, whether or not, I guess, certain fees or things are in place. If it is something that, say, is negative toward the city of Corner Brook, or not, I guess, unfair toward the city of Corner Brook, we'd expect the members to vote as such if there were certain things before them. That's the sort of purpose of a regional service board. But any decisions affecting things we do, so if the board said, oh, we would like to have a regional services for planning and development, say, the city of Corner Brook we would have to agree to participate in such a thing. Not, the board can't unilaterally decide that for us. And so our members' vote really only has nothing to do with that. It just has the direction of the board in mind.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Mayor, for the explanation, and I asked the question such that the people that are listening, the residents of Corner Brook, fully understand that the representation from the people that they elected, duly elected for this council, also represents them as a city on that particular
That's
board.
correct, yes, absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, any other questions? No?
I don't know if it's a question. I just like to, if it can be shared, I'm still trying to get my head around why it's okay for the deputy mayor to sit on this council and not okay for the mayor.
I would definitely be, I would be allowed to sit on it as per the rules of the Regional Service Board Act. But, so. Any other questions? So I think you've seen in the background there, it's very important that we actually can appoint someone to this board. One of our biggest bills, of course, is garbage. And by not having representation on that board, I think we're missing out on an opportunity to influence how that functions. Also, just for the sake of clarity, Councillor Gill sits on the board. She's not in a conflict by her own admission. She's not in a conflict by any admission. And council has been conducting conflict incorrectly in the sense that no one can declare someone else in conflict. The person has to say themselves that they are in a conflict of interest. If they're not sure, they could submit themselves to a vote of council, but you cannot exclude another councillor. So in this case, if a councillor thinks they're in a conflict, they should say so for their own protection, or they can submit to a vote. Even if it's voted that they're not in a conflict and later it's found out, they're safe. If they say they're in a conflict and they have to state a reason why they're in a conflict, and then they may sit out the vote and go to the gallery if it's a public meeting. Otherwise, they can't be excluded. And so I hope that's clear to everyone. Does everyone understand that procedure now? Yes?
I have another question.
Okay, go ahead.
When is does the term on this board end the same
With
time as
council.
council?
Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Deputy Mayor?
Is this new information that a councillor cannot put another councillor into a conflict and
Yeah.
ask for a vote?
It's
It's new?
It's new.
Within the last, how
It's a
long?
correction. I sought advice from Municipal Affairs on how it should work because it didn't make it clear how it would work if a councillor thought another councillor is in a conflict. The only, I guess, way you can do that is if you feel that someone acted in a conflict, you can make a complaint using the code of conduct system against them, and there are provisions for that in the Municipal Conduct Act. But in terms of the vote itself, what's confusing about the whole issue is that there was no provision for how you deal with a motion of conflict. So when Councillor Pender brought that up, I think, 3 meetings ago, about Councillor Gill being in a conflict, I shouldn't have allowed that motion. I should have said, nope, you can't do that. If Councillor Gill doesn't feel she's in a conflict, she's not in a conflict. And that's how it should work.
So what would the date on that be, Mr. Mayor, that you decided, or it was decided after talking to Municipal Affairs and Legal, that we can't say that we think somebody else is in a conflict? Because you can see where I'm going.
Nope.
Okay, I'll lead you down now. At our last meeting, Councillor Gill put me and asked, once she was in a conflict, she told me I was also in a conflict. Even though I had resigned the board, she said I was still in a conflict. That was the last meeting that we had. I was also put in a conflict by a fellow councillor because she felt that my husband had helped write a report. But if I had to declare myself in a conflict at that time, reading that, I never would have thought it mentioned me. So
Are you talking about the time when I was accused of a conduct issue and cleared of it, and someone said that you were somehow involved, or you're
My-
someone related to you?
Yes.
Oh, Okay.
I'm not admitting nothing because I don't know what happened, but all I'm saying is, how would I have known just from reading that report that it was specific to me? So how could I actually say, hold on now, I think I'm in a conflict?
And none of your colleagues made you aware of the report's contents?
No.
And that you were in a conflict?
I read it.
And you didn't have to leave any meetings because of that? Or you weren't aware of that before the public meeting?
No, I was not aware of it, Mr. Mayor. I was,
When council met to adjudicate the thing, were you in attendance? Did you participate in the discussion on my potential guilt or innocence?
I can't remember, Mr. Mayor.
Okay.
But I do know that I was put in a conflict on that issue. So I couldn't have been able to discuss much.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying. So sometimes, how do we know, is the question I guess I'm asking you,
Yeah.
Mr. Mayor?
Mr.
How-
Mayor?
Yeah, sorry.
How would
sorry.
we know if we are in a conflict or not? Because I knew the other night I wasn't in a conflict.
And you weren't found to be in a conflict by anyone, were you?
No, but I was told I was.
But the issue, I guess, that I saw from my spot in the gallery that bothered me the most was that it was determined that Councillor Gill was in a conflict when she didn't even get a chance to say, I guess, to refute that she was in a conflict. So how can you automatically, because of a previous decision that had nothing to do with the decision in front of council, then be kicked out of a vote without having any chance to defend herself? And I guess, so this is exactly why. You can't do that. So the person, at the very least, you'd think would be able to say, no, I'm not in a conflict because this is why. The issue is, we've had advice from our lawyer about the Regional Service Board. On the Regional Service Board, unless it's a personal interest, a private interest, as according to the Regional Service Board legislation, you're not in a conflict. So if it comes up, like Councillor Gratter mentioned, an issue for the city of Corner Brook, you should be there voting for it and saying, yes, I like that, or no, I don't like that, thinking with your city of Corner Brook representation on, right? And the city of Corner Brook itself, Councillor Gill is not precluded from talking about regional service issues. That's not a private interest. She has no gain. There's nothing to do. It has nothing specifically to do with the Regional Service Board. So these, again, we've received training in this in terms of what constitutes a conflict of interest. We can, if you would like, we could get additional training from Municipal Affairs on this to describe what a conflict of interest is. If that's something that we're interested in doing, we can talk about that after, for sure. Yes.
Yeah, and Mr. Mayor, that was what I was going to suggest. Can we, one, have a copy of the correspondence from the minister's office on this matter?
There's no correspondence. I had a phone call with
Oh,
one of the
okay.
department officials.
Can we, then, the suggestion is then perhaps we do need more training. If, you know, I don't have no problem with that. So I'd recommend that we do that.
Yeah.
I was asked, and I'm just thinking now, I was asked to leave the meeting when they discussed your case, Mr. Mayor.
Oh, so you knew about it before the public meeting,
Yes,
Oh, okay.
she did bring it.
but you didn't declare the conflict, or how? I can't remember how that went down.
It came out too fast, Mr. Mayor. I didn't have time to declare anything. It was right out the gate, so. Go back and look at tapes if you want to.
All I'm saying is that it is, again, to be clear now, everyone's aware, if you have a private interest or you have a bias because of a personal relationship that is a reasonable person could assume, then you could be in a conflict of interest. And the advice of our council has always been, and advice of Municipal Affairs, advice of everyone, is to declare that conflict. And if you're not sure, submit yourself to a vote. It protects you, and council then can say, you know what, I don't really think you're biased here, that's fine. And you can vote, and if something happens, the court action or something down the line happens, the decision may be invalidated because of that by council, may not, and the councilor is safe regardless. So there's no, that's just a safety mechanism. It doesn't mean we have to put them in a conflict. We obviously want people to, again, I said, respect their responsibility to vote and make decisions, because that's what we're here for. But we don't want to we want any seat to be validated or any repercussions because of a procedural error. Okay? Good. Any other questions?
Nope.
Any other questions on this? No? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor?
Do I, okay, so
Sorry.
I declare
Oh,
myself
you
in
have to,
conflict?
you got to say you can't participate, you're right. You're
I
in
did that right?
conflict. You can declare a conflict.
I declare
and-
myself in conflict.
What?
I declare myself in
We'll
conflict.
get out of here. Go over and sit over there. Thank you very much. And that's the thing, the person too doesn't have to, I don't think we need to, you have to state why you're in a conflict. This one's self-evident, we're voting on something for the councilor in question. And it could be a perceived benefit to that. So that's why. And we can't dispute it. If the person says it and gives a good reason, if the chair agrees that they have provided a reason, they can allow it. And of course, that's part of what I have to do. So now that we've got all that straight, are there any other final questions before we vote on this? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor of appointing Councillor Griffin, say aye.
Aye.
Contraminded? Carry. Excellent. Thank you very much. Okay. Come back. Next item, Councillor Keeping, an RFP for Community Market Feasibility Study.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. This request for decision aims to award a consultant's proposal for the Community Market Feasibility RFP issued in September 2024. This project is jointly funded by the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency, the Department of Industry, Energy and Technology, and the City of Corner Brook. The project objectives include analyzing current market needs and identifying gaps that the community market could fill, engaging with local stakeholders and organizations to gather feedback on the community market, and proposing potential operating models, analyzing revenue streams, and funding opportunities. The City of Corner Brook invited proposals to select a prime consultant for this project. 3 proposals were submitted and evaluated, and the recommended consultant is detailed below. Be it resolved that the Council of the City of Corner Brook accept the proposal submitted by Fowler Bold Mitchell Limited in collaboration with Dellon Consulting and Quay North Urban Development for $34,442.25, HST included, for the Community Market Feasibility Study. The Corner Brook City Council authorizes the city manager to sign the PCA agreement with the consultant Fowler Bold Mitchell Limited on behalf of the City of Corner Brook. I so move.
Okay, seconder on that?
Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Questions on this one?
Not so much a question, Mr. Mayor, as letting the public know how the breakdown is. You know, all the time we're ordering these, it seems like all the time we're ordering these consultants and such. But just to let the public know, on this one, we're only paying 10% of the full cost.
That's right.
So, just to highlight that, so it's like $3,400, basically. ACOA and IET are shouldering the bulk of it.
Okay, any other questions? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Contraminded? Carry. Next, Councillor Pender, we have a change order from Mount Bernard Avenue.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. This is a change order notice 30-21-3090, signed MCI 101724 to redacted. The project specifications provide a specific location for the disposal of unusable excavated material. Specifically, this material was to be disposed of at the City of Corner Brook Depot. During construction, the City of Corner Brook notified the contractor that this location was no longer an option and an alternative location would be required. Due to this change, the contractor is now entitled to payment for overhaul as specified in the contract documents. So the proposed motion be resolved that the City of Corner Brook Council approve change order number 30 from Marine Contractors, Inc. in the amount of $59,627.04, HST included, for the Mount Bernard Avenue reconstruction. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Second, Mr. Mayor?
Thank you. Questions on this one?
Question, Mr. Mayor?
Go ahead.
Yeah, why did the City of Corner Brook change its plans to have the material not be allowed to be disposed of at the City of Corner Brook depot? Was it because of the material was contaminated?
Mr.
No,
Gordon?
no, it was, it says City of Corner Brook Depot there, but where we were actually going to put the material was at the new salt shed facility on the top of O'Connell. And the material was, there was more material, I think, than was expected. And we are at our limits up there when it comes to dumping. There's a wetland right below the salt shed site. And we didn't want to push any further into that wetland.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Any other questions? Yes.
Yeah. I'm just looking at this now, and so we're on the hook for an extra $60,000, right? So is the cost to bring it to the former site built into that, or is that on top of the cost to build it into?
No, so
to the
that
former site?
60,000 is the incremental cost to travel further than the original bid.
Okay.
So the original bid, I forget all the kilometers, but I think it was 6 or 7 kilometers extra. Every load had to be hauled beyond the salt shed site, or the salt shed distance. So we had to pay the incremental cost.
And just follow up, Mr. Mayor.
Yep.
Not in that world at all. Is that number, does that number make sense kind of thing, or is it in the realm of?
Yeah, we went back and forth looking for justification from the contractor several times until we got it to a price that we felt was fair.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Just remind everyone to address the chair, please, when you're talking. It's just, it's not a point of ego, it's just a point of, just to maintain decorum, right?
Perfect. Thank you.
Yes.
I apologize.
No,
Mr.
no
Mayor.
problem, no problem.
Mr. Mayor, just on the overall cost of this contract. So the original amount was authorized for $10,436,308.65, HST included. There's been previous change orders in the realm of $450,000 plus this one. So now the new approved contract is $10,945,854.14 HST included. How is this impacted by the funding and the budget that we received? How does this impact the city?
Good. I don't know, Mr. Charters, you know that?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, as I wrote down, wasn't this budget increased? Because we did apply and get an increased budget, so I believe it's well within that, but we will definitely confirm that. I'd also note that we're only paying 10% on this contract as well, so that $59,000 is not directly towards us.
Yeah, 20%.
Yes, I'm sorry, 100%.
That's why I asked the
Trying
question, Mr. Mayor.
to.
'Cause That's
Yeah,
why I asked the question, Mr. Mayor, because I knew we were over, but I knew we had extra money, and just assuming we had enough to cover it.
I think you're right, though. This amount seems to me like the original amount, and since then, we were able to access additional
I
funding.
think it was $1.5 million extra
Okay.
is what we received.
So we're still, we think, within budget, we're fine.
Not bad for a project like that.
Not bad. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any other questions before we vote? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Counter-minded? Carried. Next, accessible transit funding, Councilor Bender.
Sorry, Mr. Mayor, I pushed the wrong button. Here we go. This is a project amendment request 17 PT 240002, accessible transit. In August of 2023, the City of Corner Brook entered into a funding agreement under the Investing in Canada Infrastructure Program, or ICIP, for $600,000 to conduct an accessible transit study. As the study nears completion, the city is requesting an amendment to the agreement to include key recommendations from the study. This amendment will not affect the total funding amount for the city's contribution. It simply seeks to make the recommendations from the study eligible for funding under the current agreement. So the proposed motion, be resolved that the City of Corner Brook Council authorize the city manager to sign the attached project amendment request and staff to submit the request to municipal infrastructure. I so move.
Thank you very much. Seconder on that?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Any questions on this one? Questions? Okay. Again, bookkeeping, hopefully that we're able to use this to implement. I think that's what our intention is anyway, not just to spend $100,000 on a shiny new study? For sure. Okay, let's vote on it. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. And traffic signals and decorative lights maintenance for the trifecta.
That one's for you too, Mr. Mayor?
Yes, it is.
Okay. So the background information, the City of Corner Brook requested bids for a 3-year standing offer contract for maintenance and servicing on Corner Brook's traffic signals and decorative lights. Tenders closed on the 12th of November 2024 with one bid received. K&C Renovations Limited for $26,450 per annum, HST included. The proposed resolution be resolved that the City of Corner Brook Council award the tender for traffic signals and decorative lights / maintenance 2024 to 2026 to K&C Renovations Limited for the annual amount of $26,450, HST included, for a 3-year contract. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Second one.
Thank you. Questions on this one? This one's a normal kind of this time of year thing. Any other questions on it?
Just that it's a
Yes.
13.6 increase from the previous 3 years.
It is indeed.
I guess everything is going up, eh?
Yep, hopefully that's slowing down now and ending. Yes, inflation seems to be tapering a little. Let's hope that it continues that way. Okay, any other questions? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. Okay, water, Deputy Mayor, supply of phosphates for corrosion control.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. City of Corner Brook requests bids for the supply of phosphates for corrosion control on a standing offer basis. The tender is for a 12-month term with an option to renew for 1 additional year based on performance and price. Tenders were called on October 11, 2024, and closed on October 25, 2024, with one bid received from Shannon Chemical Corporation for the price of $104,760 USD. The proposed resolution, be it resolved that the City of Corner Brook Council award a tender of supply of phosphates and for corrosion control 2024 to 2024, 2025 it should be, shouldn't it? Is it for a year?
I think that's the number of the
Oh, it's the
contract.
ID number? Okay.
Yeah, it's, yeah, no, I saw this about the same thing.
Yes, okay. Shannon Chemical Corporation for the amount of $104,760, that's US. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any questions here? Yes?
Just what is the price in Canadian dollars? Do we have that off the top of our head? 32% right now.
At least 32%.
Yeah. I don't know which way it's going. Try not to look at that.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
I know we only got one bid, but if I understand correctly, this is the only company that supplies the product, and they've been supplying us for a few years, I believe, but can I get that confirmed?
Mr. Burden?
Yes, that's correct. Shannon Chemicals has been our only supplier of ortho since we started using ortho in about 2000, and I guess late 2015, early 2016.
And Mr. Mayor, just a follow-up comment. I know it sounds like a lot of money, $104,000, but I believe the investment in corrosion control and these chemicals significantly reduces expenses in maintaining our system. I think when we first introduced this, we saw a big reduction in water leaks and things like that, so I think this money well spent.
Absolutely. Okay. Any other questions? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. Okay, next, the Canada Housing Infrastructure Fund. Councillor Gill.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Engineering staff require a motion of council to officially submit projects for the Canada Housing Infrastructure Fund. The window for applications under CHIF, which is Canada Housing Infrastructure Fund, program closes on November 29, 2024. As a result, staff met to discuss the projects that could be submitted under this program. A list of the proposed projects to be submitted are shown in Figure 1. If I were Vanna, I would show it up. The costs shown in Figure 1 are a reasonable estimate of probable cost. However, staff will update the estimated cost for each project before submission once approved by council. Be it resolved that the Council of the City of Corner Brook authorize staff to submit the projects listed in Figure 1 for the Canada Housing Infrastructure Fund. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder?
I'll second that, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Questions on this one?
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Yeah, so, Figure 1. Let's talk about Figure 1. What are these projects that are, this seems like there's two here. Can we have staff outline what's going to be going on with this?
Absolutely. Mr. Burden, let's see your, your chops now on your engineering skills.
Well, the wastewater, the $120 million project is the wastewater treatment and collection that we're so eagerly awaiting help on from different levels of government. But, this is basically taking all the 13, I believe, outfalls that are currently discharging into the Bay of Islands and from the city of Corner Brook and collecting all that up and pumping it or gravity feed it to a wastewater treatment facility, which is planned for an area up past the port. So it's a very large project, multi-year project that is long overdue and very hopeful to get funding for that in the near future. The other project is less of a project, about $11.5 million, but it's essentially a new reservoir on the top of O'Connell Drive, almost across from our current salt shed. And what that would do, there's a lot of benefits to having another reservoir up there. It would buy us some time if we ever have any problems with the plant. The other thing it does is it'll allow us to basically redose chlorine in that area. So we can top up our chlorine there as opposed to having the chlorine leave the plant so high. And like I said, it'll also with that tank and that amount of water, will open up or possibly open up areas of curling and possibly the old curling water supply for future development.
Thank you.
Mr. Mayor?
Yes.
Just a couple questions on what Mr. Burden just said. Firstly, on the sewage treatment plant. So, given what he just said, I'm assuming we're going with the plan that we already have in place. That's what I understood. But I guess there's going to be some technology changes to that, because I think when we first had this design, we actually tendered out, we got costs on the actual equipment that would go in that plant at that time and so on. And I think that was a number of years ago, was estimated at $90 million, so now we're looking at
75, then it was 90.
So it's really climbing up there, but essentially, I think, is it fair to say we're looking at the same project, updated obviously, with new technology if it becomes available, but cost is significantly increased.
We've applied for this through the ISIP, the previous federal provincial program. This funding is available for expanding housing development specifically. So it doesn't seem to be as broad in its scope. So these projects, obviously, where you could increase housing by having a sufficient sewer system or having additional water supply, could open up areas in the city for further development. But it is somewhat limited. So it's rolling out. I don't know if the federal provincial agreement is in place yet. I think the province is calling for submissions, but I'm not sure that the agreement is actually signed yet. I think they have until January 1st to do that. There's also a federal program, but I think we go through the provincial, if that's what you understand.
My second question was on the reservoir, but I think the director said a tank, so we're looking at a new water tank as a reservoir in that area. And I just, listening to him speak, realized that when we did the water treatment plant, we put a tank up just up by Camp Walmart area for many of the same reasons, to provide adequate water supply, to have enough water if the plant went down, and also for firefighting purposes and things like that. So certainly something we could use to help spur development on the west side, currently area. So fully support that, Mr. Mayor.
Okay. Any other questions on this? So again, remember to urge your provincial colleagues in that to, and your federal, to, we need another ISIP program in place. This CHIF is not going to do it for things like Deep Gulch, for the retaining wall and curling, like the new rec center. This is good. So are there any other questions? Let's vote on this. We get this resolution for our staff. Okay, all those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. Excellent. Okay, and Councillor Keeping, the pool deck repair at Margaret Boulder Park.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The current pool deck at Margaret Bowater Park is half concrete and half wooden. The wooden portion of the deck is reached the end of its usability and is in need of replacing. It was determined that this approach would be to replace the wooden portion of the deck with concrete that is tied into the existing concrete deck. 3 quotes were obtained and the cost of this work has been budgeted for. Be it resolved that the contract to replace the wooden portion of the pool at Margaret Bowater Park be awarded to Tick Construction, Limited, in the amount of $72,500 plus HST. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Second that.
Thank you. Questions on this one?
Just,
Yep.
no, just a question on the age of the deck that's there now. I know we built it when we did the park, that's what, 10 years or more?
I don't know. Do we
I
know?
believe it was done in 2010-ish.
Okay, so it gets a lot of use, so I guess that's fair. Thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Concrete is really hard to walk on. Like, is going to be nice? Like, are they going to have a nice brushed finish? It's going to be all posh, so the kids don't, bang up their toes when they're walking on it.
I don't know. Maybe, yeah.
They might have been getting splinters on the old one, who knows? But I'm just saying, is it going to be attractive? Like, concrete just sounds so harsh, you know what I mean?
Well, I hate to break it to you, but we're about to open a $25 million
I
pool that is made of concrete.
No, I get it. No, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I appreciate that. Of all the people here, I do appreciate that.
But I know you're saying.
But I'm just
but
saying,
Mr.
like,
I'm sure
can
Mr.
we-
Robinson can speak to the aesthetics and that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, through you, Mr. Mayor, the concrete will have a finished top to it of some sort. So it is not the most hideous concrete we've ever seen, but will be attractive and as nice as it can be as concrete is on the feet that will be using it.
Thank you very much.
It'll be the same
Thank you
finish
very
as the splash pad.
Take the splash pad.
Okay,
Gotcha.
And
Perfect.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
No sweat. Yes.
would this in any way affect the opening of do we see it affecting the opening of Margaret Bowater next summer?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, we don't anticipate that. They plan to start work as soon as the snow clears and should be done in plenty of time for it to be open.
Perfect, thank you.
Good. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. This next one. Increase the transit capacity. Councillor Gill.
Thank you. I'm very happy to do this one, as I am sure my co-chair, Pam Keeping, will be happy to hear from the Community Services Committee. City of Corner Brook has been facing capacity challenges with its current transit system, leading to passengers being frequently left behind. Additionally, a recent accessible transit study conducted by Dillon Consulting identified this issue, with a key recommendation being the need for larger capacity buses. The city is also in discussions with the province to provide free bus passes for recipients of the Guaranteed Income Support and the Guaranteed Income Support GIS and income support, two separate things. Through negotiations with the transit contractor, the following agreements are being proposed. Buckles Busing will provide 2 new buses, which will nearly double the current fleet's capacity. Number 2, any transit revenue exceeding $125,000 will be shared with the city. Previously, no revenue sharing was in place. Number 3, once an agreement is reached with the province, all GIS and income support recipients will receive free bus passes without any changes required to the existing contract. The city will increase its annual operating subsidy to the transit contractor by $120,000, raising the total to $569,200. Be it resolved that the City of Corner Brook authorize the city manager to increase the subsidy to Buckles Busing Limited by $120,000 to provide new passenger buses, and after the contract to incorporate the items listed above. The contract end date will remain unchanged. I so move.
And I think that's alter the contract. I think it might be a typo.
Altered. Oh, yes, yes, so it is. Imagine, you got a typo and I didn't.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor.
No problem.
My apologies.
Yes, no, not at all. Any seconder on that?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Questions on this one? Yes.
Any accommodations made to the residents with accessibility, or is that not going to be part of this deal here? Would be another deal besides?
Yeah, that's the, I think earlier there was the issue of devoted funds for accessible transit. Now, this would specifically address that. This is for the fixed route current system.
Okay.
But there are measures, I guess, coming for some of that, it seems.
At a cost.
Everything is at a cost. Right?
Mayor?
Yes.
Yeah, and on that point, at a cost, yes, we're looking at increasing the annual subsidy by $120,000, but we have a large group of individuals who will be able to ride free with the support of the province. And if I recall, when we ended the if anybody remembers the large buses we used to have, at the end of the 90s, we were up to $1 million a year subsidy at that point, heading in that direction. So $569,000 is still very reasonable to provide that service to residents.
Okay, good. Yeah, this is definitely a good problem in the sense that we are facing, especially end of day and midday crunches on the well, both routes, one route more in particular. But again, what I like to see about this is that we're working with the contractor there, doing a bit of revenue sharing if things do go really well, so we can get back a bit money off our subsidy, of course. But also otherwise, you know, we're leaving our options open for how we address some other issues here going forward. Yes.
So, Mr. Mayor, it did say in the background information that it was be 2 new buses. So does that mean 2 brand new buses added to the fleet, or 2 additional buses added to the fleet, which may not be new?
Again, it is just replacement of the current buses. Because we can't, it's not to change the routes or do any of that. It's just about bigger buses, correct, Mr. Chairs?
That's correct. I believe that.
Larger buses, removing 2 and replacing 2 larger buses. Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor.
I believe they are brand new buses as well.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Mr. Mayor,
Yep.
I just want to comment, like, I'm really pleased to see this because I remember a time when our buses were too big and now they're too small. So it's, I guess, I won't say a good problem to have, but it's nice to see that people, for whatever reason, and I understand the cost of owning and maintaining a vehicle is
Yep.
out of the reach of some people, but a bus is essential in an urban setting to allow people to get to work, to get to school, to do whatever they're going to do. And the more we can provide that service, I think it's kudos to staff and everybody else involved in committees, because people need to be able to get around, especially in the winter, and being able to provide that where we're not leaving people on a bus stop to wait for the next bus. I think it's a great addition to the fleet, so well done.
Good. Any other questions? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. Okay, moving right along. We had a notice of motion, Councillor Granter, for new animal regs.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. In accordance with Section 39 of the City of Corner Brook Act, a notice of motion is required for the amendment, repeal, and passing of bylaws and regulations of the City of Corner Brook. Whereas Section 236 of the City of Corner Brook Act, RSNL 1990, C-15, as amended, authorizes council to make regulations restricting and controlling the running of large or keeping of animals other than dogs, providing for the seizure and impounding of animals found at large or kept contrary to the regulations, prescribing impounding fees, and providing that an impounded animal may be sold, destroyed, or otherwise disposed of is not claimed and the impounding fee paid at the time set out in the regulations. Therefore, notice is hereby given that at a public council meeting on December the 2nd, 2024, the following motion will be brought forward for consideration. Pursuant to the powers vested in it by virtue of Section 263, 264, 280.1, 280.2, and 280.4 of the City of Corner Brook Act 1990, and all other enabling powers, the City of Corner Brook hereby adopts and enacts the animal control regulations. Pursuant to the powers vested in it by virtue of Sections 263, 264, 280.1, 280.2, and 280.4 of the City of Corner Brook Act 1990, and all other enabling powers, the Council of the City of Corner Brook hereby adopts and enacts the following amendments to the animal regulations. Section 2J, impound fee definition to include animal medical fees. Section 7D, to make animal medical fees collectible from the animal owner. New Section 10, designation, to allow the director to designate external agencies to provide animal services, collect fees on behalf of the City of Corner Brook. Schedule A, revised to increase the daily base impound fee to $25 per day. New Schedule B, dog registration form. New Schedule C, more than 5 animals form. And new Schedule D, keeping of uncommon animal form. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, and that is just the notice. So again, obviously read through the proposed changes, and of course, the public as well is offered at this point, I guess, to provide feedback on the proposed changes as well. Okay. As well, we have another thing to bring forward. Councillor Granter, metered parking regulations.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, thank you. In accordance with Section 39 of the City of Corner Brook Act, a notice of motion is required for the amendment, repeal, and passing of bylaws and regulations of the City of Corner Brook. Whereas Section 203 of the City of Corner Brook Act 1990 C-15, as amended, authorizes council to make regulations. In accordance with Section 189 of the Highway Traffic Act, and specifically Section 189 1N of the Highway Traffic Act, authorizes council to make regulations regulating the reservation of highways or parts of highways for parking purposes and the charging and collection of fees for parking, and generally in respect of other matters in connection with parking for which the council considers regulations necessary. Notice is hereby given that at a public council meeting on December 2nd, 2024, the following motion will be brought forward for consideration. Pursuant to the powers vested in it under Section 197, 188, 203, 438, and 439 of the City of Corner Brook Act 1990 C-15, as amended, Section 189 of the Highway Traffic Act 1990 CH3 as amended, A, delegations of power by the Minister of Transportation and Works dated February 8, 2010, and all other powers enabling, the Council of the City of Corner Brook hereby amends Schedule A as follows. Section 4B, rate for parking in a metered parking space to be $2 per hour, effective January the 1st, 2025. Section 6A of the metered parking regulation to read, parking in a metered space while time is expired. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you, and I just want to mention, I noticed the date there, the second, that may be the December 17th date. We have a meeting after that. Next meeting, of course, December 2nd is usually reserved for budget. And so we usually don't do other business in that meeting. So I'll say it to the public now that that'll be considered, I guess, this new amendment on the 17th. Okay. Okay, thank you very much.
Mr. Mayor,
yeah.
that will be for the previous one as well.
Is that what was said a second as well?
Second as well.
Yeah, that'll be 17th. So just to be clear on that.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. The Councillor Griffin, we have a development regulation amendment, Humber Road.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The purpose of this map amendment is to rezone 29 Humber Road from open space to a residential commercial mix, to permit redevelopment of the existing building of the property, on the property, sorry. The proposal for the redevelopment includes a personal service, photography studio, and an office on the floor with a dwelling unit apartment on the second floor. Section 14 public consultation was completed and no written responses were received. Section 15 release was granted by the province October 30th. This council request is for adoption of the amendment number 24-03 and to appoint a public hearing commissioner to satisfy requirements set up by the URPA 2000. This is the second of these three readings of this amendment by council. Be it resolved that the council of the city of Corner Brook, number 1, adopt proposed map amendment number 24-03 to the city of Corner Brook's Integrated Municipal Sustainability Plan 2012. Number 2, adopt proposed map amendment number 24-03 to the city of Corner Brook's 2012 Development Regulation. Number 3, set Thursday, December 19th, 2024, 7 p.m. in the Hutchings Room at City Hall for a tentative public hearing. To authorize staff to give statutory notice of adoption of the proposed amendments. Authorize staff to cancel the public hearing in the event that no objections are received or no member of the public expresses intent to attend the public hearing 48 hours prior to the tentative public hearing. And number 6, appoint Mark Mills to preside over the scheduled public hearing. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on this?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Questions on this one? So this one's been through the process a ways now. So this is, again, another step in that process. Any questions on it?
Just say, Mr. Mayor, that it's nice to see this area being fixed up and more investment in the area.
Excellent. Yeah. Any other questions, comments? Okay. Let's vote on it. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Contraminded? Carried. And, Councilor Griffin, we have another amendment related to O'Connell Drive.
It's not in my
I have it
paper.
here. You want it?
Yeah, if you don't mind, please.
Yeah.
Thank you. That was on me.
It's okay.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The Planning and Development Department received a development proposal for 11 O'Connell Drive, the subject property, to expand the parking lot associated with the place of worship use. The subject property is currently split zone, residential low density and community services. Regulation 129 of the 2012 Development Regulations state, uses that do not fall within the permitted use classes or discretionary use classes set out in the appropriate use zone tables in Schedule C shall not be permitted in that use zone. This regulation applies to all parking areas, driveways, accesses, uses and areas or activities defined as development that area subsidiary to, associate with, and or connected to the permitted or discretionary use. The place of worship use is not set out in the RLD use zone tables, which prohibits the proposed parking lot extending from into the RLD zone. The purpose of this rezoning is to allow for the expansion of parking lot. Upon approval, all engineering requirements will need to be met before construction permits will be granted. The proposed amendment will be advertised as per URPA's number 14 to satisfy public consultation requirements. Should council decide to move forward with the amendments, a notice of public consultation will be authorized in the Newfoundland Wire newspaper, posted on the city's IMSP Development Regulation Amendments webpage and Facebook page, as well as mailed to adjacent neighboring properties, advising of council's intent to pursue the proposed amendments. The notice will request written comments from the public that may support or oppose the amendments for a specific period of 2 weeks. The same will be posted in the lobby at City Hall. The proposed resolution, Mr. Mayor, the Corner Brook City Council resolved to authorize staff to carry out the public consultation process as per Section 14 of the Urban and Rural Planning Act 2000 in order to seek public input and receive information with respect to the proposed municipal plan and development amendments number 24-04 to permit expansion of the parking lot associated with the place of worship use located at 11 O'Connell Drive. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on that.
I'll second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you very much. Questions on this item? So as again, like the other one, there's a process. This is the first step before, I guess, we receive public input on it, and then we decide whether or not to go forward from there. Any questions about this? I have a question, actually. I'm assuming that if such a development is approved, typically we would require some type of screening or something to separate the property from the neighboring property? Mr. Burton? Mr. Charles?
Through you, Mr. Mayor, typically when it does encroach on a neighborhood like that, we would request that and make it a condition of the approval moving forward, so that's pretty typical.
Okay. Any other questions?
Mr. Mayor, so this Baptist church, right, that we're talking
Yes.
about? Yeah, and they're increasing the parking lot?
Yeah, there's property behind the church, it looks like. It's not currently used for parking.
Right, okay.
Any questions? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried.
Amen.
Okay, Councillor Gill, discretionary use, mineral exploration in protected water supply zone.
This is another one that makes me happy. This application is for mineral exploration in the PWSA zone, Protected Water Supply Area Zone, where mineral exploration is a discretionary use of the City of Corner Brook's development regulations. There is a condition in the development regulations that requires staff to engage Corner Brook's Watershed Management Committee. This was completed. The committee met twice to discuss the application, and they provided a recommendation as per the condition in the regulations, which is attached. There was a public notice circulated on June 12th, 2024, in order for residents to voice any possible concerns regarding the development. This was also placed on the City of Corner Brook website and Facebook page. Since then, we have received 12 comments. 8 comments for zero development of any kind in the protected water supply area. 2 comments against this type of development/use, and 2 comments outlining concerns of garbage, spills, and equipment in the watershed. Policy 4.13.3 from Corner Brook's IMSP states that the Watershed Management Committee shall provide scientific advice and technical assistance to the City of Corner Brook and concerned parties in order to minimize the environmental impacts of development and/or other activities which are to be considered by council, and ensure that approved undertakings are carried out in an environmentally acceptable manner. The Watershed Management Committee did not put forth any conditions on the recommendation to allow for this development. Be it resolved that the Council of the City of Corner Brook, pursuant to Section 11 of the City of Corner Brook 2012 development, deny the application for the proposed mineral exploration use within the PWSA zone, Protected Water Supply Area Zone. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on that?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Questions on this one? Okay, yes.
No, not a question, just a comment to see that our processes are effective in protecting our watershed management areas when it comes to mineral exploration, and when we do retool our watershed plan moving forward, I'll be very happy if this sort of recommendation comes out of that as well. I don't want to see the language changed, but I guess that's only for the future to tell. So, thank you.
Yeah, no, I concur with the comment, Mr. Mayor, that our watershed is vital for the livelihood of residents in this area, Mount Moriah and Massey Drive, and that we need to protect it at all costs. And I'm certainly not in favor of seeing any industrial development in that area, so I fully support the motion.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor, or all those in favor of the motion, which is to deny, say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. Okay, Crown Land application near Duncan's Rock. Deputy Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. City of Corner Brook received a Crown Land application pertaining to a portion of land in the vicinity of Duncan's Rock, south of Transcanada Highway, which is located within the planning boundaries of the City of Corner Brook. The applicant is seeking a license to occupy land for the purpose of building a mountain bike preferred multi-use, non-motorized trail, taking advantage of and improving upon previous existing abandoned trails. The proposed trails, which will provide access to other trails in this area. The proposed trail will provide improved access for existing trail users and reduce and avoid travel on municipal roadways and the Transcanada Highway. The land is located in environmentally protection and environmentally conservation zones where the trail as a recreational open space classified of use is a permitted use in the City of Corner Brook, in the City of Corner Brook development regulations. This application was considered by internal staff, and there is no concern that other than the city request that an as-is map of all trails with location markers and points be provided to the city for emergency response. As in the past, the city has had incidents of injured persons requiring the fire department to respond in the trail system. Proposed resolution, it is resolved to approve the Crown Land application for the purpose of mountain bike multi-use, non-motorized trail for a portion of the land in the vicinity of Duncan's Rock, which falls within the City of Corner Brook planning boundaries. I so move.
Thank you. Seconder on this?
Second, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Questions on this one?
Where's Duncan's Rock, Mr. Mayor?
Where is Duncan's Rock? Who wants to describe where Duncan's Rock is? Would you like to describe it?
It's essentially across the highway from the Man in the Mountain lookout. So the little parking area where you look up at Man in the Mountain. There was an old quarry there a long time ago, and several old existing trails from the Massey Drive area down there.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Any other questions? Yep.
No, just say, Mr. Mayor, fully support this project, and I think, as Mr. Burton said, anytime you go up to the Man the Mountain parking site there, you can always see a few pickups parked there, vehicles parked, as the mountain bikers come down through the trails and cross over right around this area. So there are some wonderful trails up there now, both walking and cycling, and great to see this expansion of the trail network.
Absolutely. Okay, any other questions? Okay, let's vote. All those in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Counterminded? Carried. Okay, now before we get to the next item, discretionary use approval, I believe I am in a conflict. I received a campaign donation, I think, from someone potentially involved in this application. So I am going to sit this one out, and I will hand the reins over to the Deputy Mayor to handle this item.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Councilor Grantham.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Somebody stand.
We're very formal.
This is in reference to application the city received on September 27, 2024, requesting permission to construct a single dwelling at the property located on 2 Barry Place, Corner Brook, Newfoundland. The single dwelling classification of use is non-conforming in the general industrial zone of the city's development regulations. However, section 82(3)(d) of the city's development regulations states a building, structure, or development that does not conform to a scheme, plan, or regulation may have the existing use for the building, structure, or development varied by the appropriate council to a use that is, in their opinion, more compatible with the plan and regulations. The last use on the property was a scrapyard, which was non-conforming to the zone. This single dwelling will allow a use which, although is also non-conforming, is less intrusive than the building's former use. In addition to section 82(3)(d) above, section 3.5 of the Municipal Plan 2012, policy 3.5.3 states that the authority, council in this case, may permit changes in non-conforming uses where the change is to a more compatible use. Approving this change to a less intrusive, non-conforming use would accomplish that. A public notice was posted in the Newfoundland Wire on October the 23rd, as well as on the city's website. No comments or concerns were received. Be it resolved that the Council of the City of Corner Brook, pursuant to Section 82, 3D of the City of Corner Brook 2012 Development, approve the application for the proposed single dwelling at the property located at 2 Barry Place. So moved, Deputy Mayor.
Second, Deputy Mayor. Ms.
Thank you. Discussion?
Yep.
Questions?
Deputy Mayor, I have one question for staff, I guess. The building is replacing a scrapyard. Will the new building and the scrapyard coexist, or will the scrapyard disappear and the building replace the scrapyard?
Director Burton?
My understanding is the scrapyard is no longer. The scrapyard will be replaced by a single dwelling home.
Thank you, Deputy Mayor.
Deputy Mayor? Thank you. Just a question is, I guess just on the process here of approving a non-conforming use that is less non-conforming than the current non-conforming, I get that, but why aren't we just simply rezoning that? We do have the IMSP not completed yet. I'm just wondering why we're not going through that process so that this property owner can have the dwelling on a piece of property that it conforms to the municipal plan that is about to be adopted.
City Manager?
Go ahead.
Or Director Burton, one of you?
We're gonna fight over it.
Fight it out.
We have to operate under the current rules that we have, so this is what we're doing. In the future, when we finally do adopt the IMSP, you wouldn't see this, but under our current operating rules, this is why we're proposing this. It gets the proposed developer going a lot quicker than a rezoning, which will happen anyway when we adopt the plan.
Yeah, so that was my question, Deputy Mayor, that it will be rezoned, that is the intent?
That's my understanding.
Director Burton, you had anything to add?
No, I was just looking at the map there, and I don't see any reason why it would not be rezoned to make it a conforming as opposed to a non-conforming with the new development regulations.
So can I propose a friendly amendment just to say that, to add to this, I'm fine with this, I think it's a good fit for the area, but that staff proceed to rezone the area to ensure that it conforms with, you know, that the house conforms with the use in that zone. So that if this property owner has it 20 years down the road or whatever, something happens, they want to sell it or whatever, their hands are not tied because it's not conforming. So I think we owe it to any property owner, if we know there's an issue, to eliminate that issue for them. So again, I'll just propose a friendly amendment where both the mover and seconder are in agreement.
Councilor Griffin?
No, I just think that anytime we can get rid of a scrapyard and put a nice beautiful home on it, yeah.
We need to vote on the friendly amendment.
Well, it's friendly, if
Oh.
both accepted, we're fine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Second, Councilor Gill?
I don't,
You second, okay, Councilor Garber, you okay with that? Okay. Okay, Councilor Griffin, can you give us your concern again?
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed that. No, I just say, as more of a comment, Deputy, is just that, you know, anytime we can remove a scrapyard and put up a nice, beautiful building, yeah, I'm all for it.
Okay, thank you.
It was just a comment, thank you.
Okay. Councilor Gill?
Oh, thank you, Madam Chair. I just want, I'm not sure I'm clear on what we're changing here. Could I get Councilor Pender to repeat the reason why we're doing this? I just don't understand why the current motion doesn't work, that's
Okay,
all.
Councilor Pender?
okay, I'm just raising a concern over process that I'm fine with the single dwelling down there, I don't have an issue with that, that's fine. But we're still putting in a non-conforming, as a non-conforming use for that zone, because that zone is still general industrial. And what I'm asking is for staff during the current review of the IMSP, which we're about to adopt at some point, that zone be changed to whatever is suitable, like residential or whatever, so that this house will be conforming and will not remain non-conforming. So that if that person ever wanted to sell the house, there's no issues legally and so on, it conforms to the zone. So in other words, get rid of the general industrial zone that's there now, which allows for a scrapyard, and make it conforming to, I don't know what would be in the area, general residential low density or whatever that is, so that it fits the area, so that the home
Okay.
fits the zoning in the future.
Thank you.
Just to make it easier for the homeowner.
Je comprends. Merci.
Okay. And
Thank you,
it's,
Madam Chair.
I think a new home there, places are beautified, there's, we have community garden there and so on, so I think it'd be a great fit.
I'm just, Madam Chair, I'm just wondering if the mayor would be in conflict on that vote.
You want to bring it forward?
Anything to do with this property?
Yes.
Yeah, but we're talking
He has
about zoning.
declared that he is in a conflict.
Okay, no, I just,
Yeah.
yeah,
I will say, Madam Mayor, if I may, the staff has already said they're considering that anyway,
Yeah.
to make
Okay.
it conforming, I just wanted to put it in motion.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Friendly amendment.
Okay.
I got no issue with that.
Everybody okay?
okay, yep.
Yes.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Unanimous. Mr. Mayor, you're allowed back.
Yeah.
Don't question when we go.
Okay, thank you very much. We're getting down to it now. We have information about the Christmas ball cleanup. Councillor Keeping.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The City of Cornwall will continue its Christmas ball cleanup from December 27th, 2024 to January 3rd, 2025. This year, residents have two options to participate. The Civic Center dumpsters. The dumpsters will be available in the Civic Center parking lot on December 27th and the 28th for residents to drop off their refuse. Please note that hazardous waste, construction, and demolition debris, and non-curbside garbage items are not allowed in the dumpsters. For guidelines on acceptable items, visit www.wrwm.ca. And option number 2 is the free tipping fees at Wild Cove Transfer Station from December 27th to January 3rd, 2025. Cornwall residents can dispose of household garbage at the Wild Cove Transfer Station without incurring tipping fees. However, construction and demolition materials will not be included in this offer. More information will be shared through the city's communication channels, and residents can contact customer service at 637-1666 for further details. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Questions on that item? So the one big change, I guess, here is the length of time that the dumpsters are available up at the Civic Center. It's shorter. That has been a bit of a problem the last few years with mess and things like that. But staff are proposing and have worked out a deal there to open up Wild Cove. So those who want to head over to the dump to get rid of their turkey carcasses as quickly as possible could do so if they like. Okay?
And my Christmas tree from last year.
Well, no, Christmas tree is part of the pickup schedule.
Gee whiz.
And so you should have received, another thing that was said here recently to homes in Corner Brook was a mail out that had the
Yeah.
schedule for when garbage is happening and not happening, more importantly.
Yeah.
And so there are a number of 6-bag days as well included in the schedule, and little Christmas trees in the first, I think it's the first week after, or the January, or second week after January. I can't remember which.
4th to the 10th.
The what?
4th to the 10th.
4th to the 10th. There's, you can put your tree out and have it taken away. And we won't know, we won't carbon date it to see if it's last year's.
Which date?
Mr. Mayor, can we get a couple of reminders put in the councilor's calendar, just a reminder, put it in the tree?
Mr. Mayor, will
Yes.
the Christmas trees be picked up with the regular garbage, on the regular garbage day? Or will it be a day separate from the 4th to the 10th? Because how else would people know when to put the tree out if it's going to be picked up?
Mr.
Not
Burton,
full
do
city
you happen
info.
to know?
On the card?
I don't.
It's on the card, I think it's your regular day.
But it's, we will be putting out a lot of information on this after it gets kind of, we wanted
After
to
the
brief
postal
council on
Okay.
it before we
Yeah.
get it on
Yeah, they-
the media and the social media and stuff, so.
Yeah, so. Okay, good. And last but not least, just we have as well, we do this regularly. There's a memo there, I won't outline all the dates for the regular council meetings, but this is a proposed schedule. So I'll ask, and I think there was a slight revision sent out as well this afternoon. We noticed a problem there with the carnival date. I think Councillor Keeping, I think, was able to find that mistake that we had in there. But anyway, we have, there will be a schedule there. If you're going to miss it, let the clerk know as soon as possible. And of course, we need to maintain quorum and make sure we have people. So, yes.
Mr. Mayor, as the term of this council ends in next September,
Yep.
Can I just suggest that we end the schedule for the last meeting, I think it's the 22nd of September?
Yeah,
would be
the
last
6th, the
meeting?
6th to the 20th
So,
is sort of our moot points, you're right. The clerk is just cruising along.
And
Nothing
Mr. Mayor,
stops her.
just to
Yes.
make the point, the reason why the election is bumped to October 2nd is because of the Indigenous
That's right.
Day of Recognition. So,
The new day on the 30th of September.
correct.
Mr. Mayor, can I just add one little comment
Yes.
here? Myself, you, and the deputy mayor attended the municipalities Newfoundland Labrador meetings in Gander
Yes.
last week.
Yep.
And very informative, had a lot of good conversation, a lot of learning opportunities. Really enjoyed Sean Majumdar and the mayor of Burlington talking about how they've redeveloped their community with Mr. Majumdar and the gathering, and how that has led to new accommodations and new employment in their community. And I had a few good sessions there with the Professional Managers Association, the PMA. Yep, and they did an interesting session there. And Town of Urbana was there for that as well. So very interesting sessions. However, we were told there was going to be a snowstorm. And a lot of people left Friday, and of course, there was no snowstorm. But anyway, it was a worthwhile session. So just wanted to mention that, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, thank you.
I attended the Western Caucus, which was very interesting. We all have the same issues and the same problems, and getting your money and completing projects on time, and the money that comes in is not what you look for because it takes too long. So it felt good to all be in the same boat, sailing the same way.
Yep, tell your provincial and federal representatives, more capital money,
Faster.
faster. That's
Mr.
right.
Mayor,
Yes.
while we're on reporting, I attended the Western Regional Municipalities NL event that was in Cowhead. And that was really interesting to hear the issues that smaller municipalities have, because of course, I was the only representative of Corner Brook, and the bulk of the communities, all of the communities were smaller than we are. So it was a really interesting reflection of the kinds of things that smaller municipalities are dealing with. Anyway, just thought I'd
Yep.
let everybody know.
Absolutely. And
No, I just like to mention, to offer my condolences to the McHugh family
Yes, of course.
on the loss of Dave. Dave was an icon in the music scene around town, and everybody that knows me know that I'm big on local and support local. And it's just, you know, what the thing about Dave was, the guy on the stage was the guy off the stage. His smile was genuine, his caring was genuine. If he asked you how you felt, he listened. And I think we're down a guy now when it comes to somebody who just could take the lead on everything. And Dave was just
Music and friends.
yeah, he was an amazing individual, and my heart goes out to his family, to his mom, and he will be missed, I can assure.
well
Thank you.
said.
100%.
Thank you very much for that. And with that, it's going to be adjourned.